And here it is. Hey, everyone. My name is Andy Hall. This is Atheist Drinking Out Loud. If this is your first time, picture this as just a bunch of people hanging out together in a pub, as is the background, and just having a couple of drinks, having a couple of laughs, and talking about anything. Whatever comes up, comes up. We're probably going to be talking about atheism. We might be talking about adoption, since I had that whole adoption thing come up recently.
Yeah, my background looks very public.
It does. It's very revealing.
Are you in a men's room, Neil? Is that where you are right now?
Sitting on the shitter right now. I'm just kidding. It's my room. It's my bedroom.
So, gentlemen, please introduce.
Hang on, I got a flush.
Well, okay. So, for people who don't know, now, of course, James, you are our mystery guest.
Yes.
You want to say something about yourself that you feel comfortable about sharing with the audience?
My name is James. Obviously not my real name, but James. I live in Holland.
Right
Been
under the
doing
Bible
so for the last, 40 years. And the only thing I would like to divulge is I'm a convinced anti-fascist. I don't have a big problem with theists, as long as they don't bother me with their bullshit. That's it.
Wise words. And Neil, the 604 Atheist, for those 2 or 3 people in the universe who don't know who you are, you want to say something about yourself?
I thought you were going to tell me to say something to them. But I'm sure there's more than just 2 or 3 people that don't know who I am. But anyway, most of the folks in the chat know who I am because I recognize many of them. So,
Indeed.
But I have a little channel where I do deconversion stories, and I have a show today, about an hour after this one ends, give or take.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, got a fellow Canadian named Jay Peterson who's going to be joining me today. So, should be a lot of fun. Cool.
Very good. So what are you drinking today? Oh, I'm going to share what I'm drinking. I'm drinking some Captain Morgan's Black Spiced Rum. I'm not going to be drinking this all through the episode.
Right out of the bottle.
Neil has concern. He doesn't have fear. He has concern.
Yeah. That's a ghetto-sized bottle there. What you got there going on? Shit.
I got nothing but trouble.
You got yourself a block party going on.
I do. It's a little party. I actually have a cooler. A small, I'm going to bring this up to the screen so people can see. This is my system. I have the cooler right here.
Good man.
I keep my treats in.
Outstanding.
Got my cooler right here too. Says no gods, no masters.
You prepared.
No gods, no masters.
I'm having a few smokes. I got myself a nice bottle of rum, and let's see how the boat floats.
That's good.
I was drinking these, but I ran out, so I'm back onto the Alexander Keys.
Oh, very nice.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Like my beer. What can I say?
There's nothing wrong. I have some beer after I'm done with this. I'm not going to be drinking the whole bottle of rum. I'm not focused on rum. I'm not rum centered because I don't want to be browned out or blacked out by the time the 2 hours ends. This is my personal goal. I have small goals. But this is my goal.
You know what the problem is with getting old?
What?
When you, at least, speaking for myself, when I get a hangover, I pray for death. I'm the only person in Europe that suffers from malaria.
Oh, really?
It's fucked up.
I have a friend who worked for the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and he was in Malawi, Sub-Saharan Africa.
I went to school there.
You went to Malawi? You went to school in Malawi?
Yeah, I went to school.
All right, so he was...
St. Andrews in Blantyre.
All right, so my buddy Adam, he was volunteering for the Peace Corps at the time, and he was out basically away from the major city, out in the middle of nowhere, basically, at a little village, and he was helping digging wells, and he got malaria out there, and
that's bad.
It's so James, do you still suffer from the after effects of having malaria? Because it stays in your blood, doesn't it?
Not anymore, because I've been here for so long and I haven't been back since 1988. But probably if I had to go back, I'd probably get malaria very quickly.
Yeah.
I haven't had it in many years.
I heard, and I read this somewhere at a legitimate periodical. You can always tell Andy at the very beginning of the episode to Andy at the very end of the episode. Andy starts talking about periodicals and peer review. And by the end of it, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I heard
This is true.
This is totally true. This is the 9th episode. Neil, can you believe that? This is the 9th.
I know. 9th. Like what?
What happened?
We're gonna have to do a special episode for the 10th one.
Oh yeah.
And I, as you know, as we were talking, I do have somebody in mind who's quite well known and will be, with everyone's blessings, will be coming on the show.
Godless blessings all around.
Do you have to make the A shape?
Yeah, right, for the A shape. Very nice. That's right. How can I forget? But so about this, scientists have developed a genetically modified male mosquito. I believe it's a male mosquito that will prevent malaria from being transferred into the general population. So the male mosquito will mate with female mosquitoes, but the eggs that the female mosquito lays will not be able to transmit malaria. That's what I heard. That I remember reading about that a couple months ago.
I heard something like that, but what I heard is the male mosquito
Seamus
would make the female mosquito barren.
Okay. Yes. See, I'm always surrounded. I always want to surround myself with smarter people than me. I know it's not that difficult. So people can say, "No, Andy, you have it wrong. This is the way it is." So thank you, James. Seamus.
No, but you're in the ballpark.
Your mic is off.
Yeah, it's on now. I was coughing.
Oh, you're coughing. I hope you're not ill, sir.
got the Rona.
A little bit. No, not the Rona. Thank goodness, no. But a little bit of cough. So I'm gonna try to continue. Same here. I'm going to try to continue to medicate myself as we go along.
Move swiftly on, my good man. Make it so.
Yes.
So as you can tell, this is James. He's from Holland. Good guy.
Nice.
Pleased to meet you.
And Seamus, for people who don't know you, Seamus, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was born at a young age.
Is that right?
Ex Christian, ex fundamentalist, jackass, cop, kind of thing. I'm out of all that.
What do you mean, ex jackass?
Yeah, okay, fair enough, deal. So heavy on the ass, less on the jack, right? So, anyways, I do a podcast called The Free Thought Prophet with my good friend, my brother from another mother, John Hamill, who is out in Ireland. And we do what has been coined as pub philosophy. Just basically have people on, have a few drinks, and just kind of a conversation. Sometimes it gets lighthearted into sometimes a debate. But we try to do things. Also, we do historical cracks, as we coin them, just talking about odd things that have happened in history or things that weren't so much odd, but just get kind of pushed under the rug. I know we did the Charles Colson thing with you, Andy, and that was a lot of fun, which everybody should look into because that's really screwed up with Nixon. And tomorrow, also with Andy and also with Barry Purcell, we're going to do a live show, kind of breaking down some issues involving Atheist Alliance International. Also with International Atheist Alliance, I think, because I know they kind of did the what is it? We're not the Judeo People's Front or something. Splitters. I don't know what. I can never get that right.
Splitter. The splitter.
Yeah. So there's the whole data. Right. So there's the whole data theft thing, and we're gonna basically kind of expose. I hate to pull Geraldo and say we have Al Capone's vault, but we're kind of going to go down that road. But the vault won't be empty, I promise.
You found the treasure on Oak Island, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Oh, geez, that's another one, right?
They've actually found some shit. So,
well, yeah.
What did they find?
I don't know. A bunch of little. There's some coins and stuff, and some trinkets from some of the people that were there before, and nothing like huge, but. Who knows? Maybe they will at some point.
So I just want to say, just for a basic policy statement on Tangelo, no one's here to debate that this show isn't that kind of show. If you keep trolling, you're just going to get banned. So you can say you can have a couple of drinks, you can have some fun.
Tangelo
but
was born stupid but he's going to die much dumber. He's a verifiable
something in the
cretin.
chat. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what's going on. So you can,
Okay,
if you
sorry.
behave yourself, you can contribute, but you're not here to
Oh,
trip
there we go.
haters. You know, that's how this is. And actually, this is me just being nice because typically I just ban people.
That's it.
But the thing is, if you behave yourself,
Otangelo doesn't deserve to be banned.
well, I don't.
No, but you know what the problem with Otangelo is? He comes into the chats woefully unprepared. He doesn't do his homework. He brings no added value to the chat. Then I'm wondering, dude, why do you even come here? Look, I'll be honest. I'm probably the dumbest mother in this chat. But that's okay. That's cool.
Is that a
I'm getting smarter.
Are you trying to outdo Andy now?
That's tough. I got experience here. I got tons of experience at being stupid.
I got a new pin.
Oh, geez. What is that?
Wow.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Wow.
Very nice. Very nice.
Goes with my helmet.
I like your t-shirt too. It's very, very slick. Yeah.
Humanism, atheism, science, all in one shirt.
Shit.
And only for low price of $29.99.
You got heart of gold.
So, Seamus, how are you doing, brother? I heard that you, if we can talk about such, how have you been?
Pretty good. The biggest news in my life, honestly, is I have full custody of my kid now. So yeah, so I am over the moon about it. I honestly, it's almost, I think it's been 2 weeks. I don't know, and I've talked to him, but yeah, we kind of look at each other every day, kind of like, I can't believe this happened, kind of thing. And yeah, so just it's great. It's great.
So when you're shipping them off to boarding school?
Yeah, exactly. Well, in less than 5 months, he'll be 18, and that's what the rub is, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's crazy. So
it's just in time to pay for college. That's what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah.
Just get custody. It's like, all right, Dad, I'm moving out now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What the hell was I thinking? So, yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, congratulations, dude.
That's good, man.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's the biggest thing in my life, honestly. So, I mean, outside of doing podcast and drinking with people like you guys. So yeah. So, which hey, what's with the? Well, yeah. What's with the background there? You doing the green screen now? You trying to be all high tech over there, Andy?
I am trying to be all high tech. That's
nice.
Leveled up my game. That's what I have. I've gone with a brick wall.
I don't blame you there.
Neil just wanted to broadcast from his toilet. That's all.
He's on a Jim Morrison now, right?
He's in the toilet in the bus station.
Like my friend Dave, Simply Secular, said, I'm in one of the Petro-Canada gas station bathrooms.
That's it. Oh, who said something about that they were terminally Canadian? What was that on Twitter? Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try to figure where that came from.
Look that shit up.
Yeah, but the thing was that I can only help them so much, but they're terminally Canadian. I just thought it was funny. So
Canadians are good people.
Terminally Canadian. Well,
I like
okay. So hey, all right. So hey, go on in heavy now. What is, I'll do my best, Jerry Seinfeld, right? So what is with all these Canadian atheists all of a sudden? What is? I mean, seriously though, it seems like poo. Like all the guys, all the people on the spectrum now are all, and I mean that in a nice way, are all Canadian. It's kind of interesting though. I mean, I'm, you don't think of Canada, right? The USA's slightly deviated brother, but you don't think of that as kind of like this haven for secularism or this haven of
what?
Well, let's put it this way: it's not a haven of religiosity, because usually that's where that kind of thing spawns, right? Because, I always joke, whatever I found John was, hey, I have Irish roots, and I'm assuming that because Ireland's the Pope's summer home, there's got to be a revolt. You know what I mean? So you would think that those places where there's a lot of religion, that there's the people fighting, but you don't think of that as Canada. So why is there so many activists in Canada, Neil? Why is that?
I I don't know.
Okay.
They've always been activists, if you think
Okay.
about it. I mean, people like Logic and Shannon and
Yeah.
Rhino and Cranium and Paula G. We've all been going for a long time. It's just all of a sudden.
I don't know if it's been that
for
long.
reason-
I don't know if it's been that long, has it though?
Well, I would say at least for the past, with Logic and Rhino, those guys have been going for over 8 years, I think.
Really? I didn't realize
Yeah.
those two were that
Yeah.
long. Okay,
Yeah.
apologies.
I
didn't
just
realize
think their skit is F about America. I mean, like America. I know you guys share the continent with us, kind of, sort of.
Kind of,
But-
sort of.
You
Yeah,
know,
most
I mean, our burgeoning Christian theocracy would scare any of our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I think it is?
It's on the rise here too, though. So
I think it's Canada encourages critical thinking,
Mhm.
and America does not. America
I can see
frowns on critical thinking. That's just my personal opinion. I might be wrong, but
No, I don't think you're too far off at all, my friend.
There's a lot of data points to support that assertion. That's
I like what Dave said. Canada is more of a step sibling.
Yeah.
so Neil, I shouldn't be here in the States. We shouldn't be expecting Canadian atheists to save us like the Riders of Rohan in Middle Earth. That you guys aren't going to just ride down and save us.
We are. We're going to ride down on our little cats. We got them all battle geared up,
Cats.
and with our hockey sticks and masks and stuff like that.
Epic.
I got my mask all done up to look like Jason from Friday the 13th. So it's going to look really good. So it should be a lot of fun.
I
Come
tell
down
you
there.
what. I
Slap
tell you what.
shots all around. You know, like so.
So speaking of hockey, the freaking Canadian League is awesome, isn't it? I mean, not the league, but the division. No, because
it's terrible.
Come on, it's wide open hockey. It's great.
Yeah, but we keep losing every fucking game.
Well, I know.
We've beaten.
Yeah, but
We've lost way more than we've won this year.
Why?
The Canucks
What's-
I'm referring to. I
What
don't
is
know.
going on with them? I don't understand that, man.
Might be
going
time
on
for a
with
new
them?
coach. Might be time.
You
for a
think
new coach.
that's what it is?
They just don't follow his shit anymore. I don't think.
Oh,
There's got a
man.
lot of talent on the team. It's just.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying, my man. I mean, honestly, like everybody was always, Connor McDavid, or
He's good.
Like, well, yeah, but I mean, like my one friend says Connor McJesus, right? Because that's all they talk about. Everybody just won't shut up about him, and he is good. Thank you.
It's like Gretzky all over again over there.
Yeah, right. Well, anyways, I could go down that road, but I won't. But again, like the Canucks themselves are just like they remind me of like the Oilers or the Penguins or that kind of team where there's just like so much talent. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand. You saw that last year, and the like weird playoffs we all had to watch last year. But
we did better last year.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking. I was like
And we
really
lost to
hoping.
Foley, right? We lost to Foley.
Yeah, but
That sucked.
that shouldn't be enough. I mean, I don't know. I feel for you, man. Is what I'm trying to say. I was like, honestly, when I hear the Canucks win, I'm like, hey, for Neil. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. So in all honesty, I you know what? It's disgusting. It's been like 93 since there's been a Canadian team that's won. That's insane. What the hell?
Well, 94, we went all the way with the Rangers and lost.
Yeah, but I mean, you lost. But I mean, you didn't win. Was what I'm trying to say. I mean, I always root for, like when what was it, Calgary and Tampa Bay. I always root for Calgary, Edmonton versus Carolina. I would like to see a Canadian team win. That's all I'm trying to say.
I
And no,
have
this
no
is
idea.
this isn't me trying to pacify my atheist attacking the Canadians earlier. I'm just saying, that's where I'm in hockey. That's a whole other, fuck you, Canadian atheist. But
I'm gonna make
Here's that, Randolph.
I'm going to make an observation and then a question. One, I live for the day when Oilers, a team named the Oilers, would be considered a hate crime against the environment. That's all I'm saying right here and right now.
Okay.
And hockey, there is a hockey league in Canada where they play each other, and that's what we're talking about.
Division.
Well, it's a division of the National League.
Right now. Okay.
Because of COVID, they've kind of like restructured everything to kind of make it.
All the Canadian teams, none of them go across the border, right? So they stay in their little Canadian bubble. They got the West Coast bubble, the middle bubble, and the East Coast bubble.
But it's fantastic to watch. It just really is because it's all wide open, and I love that kind of hockey, man.
Yeah, dude,
Just
I've
saying.
written this season off completely.
I-
The whole
I-
thing is.
I understand where you're coming from. If the Penguins were the Canucks, I would feel the same way. Okay, so I'm just saying, and honestly, I'm not saying I'm not writing off my Penguins this year either, because that's a whole other can of worms. But I wish I could watch that kind of hockey. You know what I mean? My team was in that kind of hockey. That's all I'm saying, because that's the way hockey should be played. I know this is not an atheist discussion. I'm sorry, but whenever when I see Neil, I always want to talk about hockey.
I feel like there's at least 5 to 10 minutes that we spend every single time that we get together that there is some kind of hockey conversation going on.
Okay, so
probably.
now we're gonna talk about music and rock and roll and shit, because that's what the other thing Neil. So hey Neil, how you doing? Just kidding.
I had band practice. They got home about half an hour before we went live. So
I'm glad you're still doing it, man. I'm glad. Good for you, man.
well, we decided the studio's big enough that we can all take like a corner of the room, right? So you got the drummer, the bass player, guitar player, and me, and we're all minimum like 8 feet apart from each other. So we can get together and do that. So it's a sizable room.
Here's a question for for 50% of the panel here who are international. In other words, not America, not the United States of America. What's your whole vaccine regimen or looking like? I mean, have you gotten the shot? Will you be getting the shot anytime soon? What's going on there?
We just had the third. What is it? You've got the Pfizer one. You've got Astra, whatever the fuck it is, and the Merca, whatever. AstraZeneca, and then the whatever the Mer one is. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anywho, we just got all 3 of them are now passed to be used here. And what they're doing here is they're doing from the most vulnerable down. So the elderly, the medically sick types, and people that would easily get it. Mind you, everyone can easily get this one, especially with the mutations, but all the way down to people who are strongest. So they're going like top down sort of thing.
Sure. So when are you going to be getting?
I probably not till the fall.
Oh, really? Huh, dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? How about
me
you?
as well. What I don't understand is if you look at like Holland, just like Canada and America, our militaries are geared up for disaster relief. They have an existing logistical system. Why weren't they used? Because I don't know about America and I don't know about Canada, but the distribution is a dismal failure.
Well,
I just don't get it.
Here in the States, there was no federal system for dispersal, from what I understand. When Biden came in, his administration said that basically, the Trump administration had no plan of federal way or federal assistance in how to disperse the vaccine.
You mean program Warp Speed wasn't real? What are you saying there, Andy? I don't understand. Yeah, right.
Wow.
Cancer. Don't forget that, Seamus.
Wow. With Trump, everything he says, just like his college degree, is as real as his supposed bone spurs.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, my state is leading the way, okay, because we know how to use needles here, okay? We've had a lot of practice. So.
Well, I've heard that seriously, the West Virginia vaccination rate is the highest in the country, I believe.
Yeah, it is. So,
how did that happen?
I have no clue. That's the only thing I can figure out is everybody's like, okay, I'm used to this. I can do this, right? And they do the balloon thing, wrap it up right here, right now. So, but that's the only thing I can figure. That's why it's probably efficient. So, but it is. I have a hard time giving any credit to the governor, because he is like Trump light. And he's a Democrat, though. And he even said when he got in here, well, I'm really not a Democrat, So, I mean, seriously. And I know, was it Robert Ford was the asshole in Toronto that had all the great sound bites, right? Yeah, he was great. But I'm serious. Jim Justice is pretty good. Anytime you hear that there's a Jim Justice press conference, check it out. Granted, he's going to say something completely stupid,
but
it's always a guarantee. So,
but he did a great walk on Walker Texas Ranger, as I recall.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, Jim Justice. I mean, he's the natural walk off. So they say, I'm just shitting.
Wow.
That's a joke. That's an attempt at humor. That's all that was. That was just a cheap attempt. Don't worry, there'll be other cheap attempts too. That'll be coming.
Forgot you're a professional, Andy.
Wait, what?
I'm being an ass. I love him. You know that. That was better love.
You know how you can get notifications on what's coming up on YouTube in half an hour, or see so-and-so. So I just got a notification that the EA show, which is the Empathetic Atheist, my friend Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Is the EA show Christmas special. It's airing today.
Wow.
What? Justin, what are you, high?
What? Well, what's the denomination that does it like in the summer?
No idea.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a denomination that does kind of like a late Christmas because they believe that's when it occurs.
Well, yeah, nobody really knows, but I mean,
Sure.
let's maybe you
there
mean
is
like
a
the Christmas
denomination.
in July thing.
Yeah, I mean it's not literally that, but I mean that's the joke. But I know there's like a different. Is it Russian Orthodox or somebody that does it? I can't remember. There is that, so maybe that's what he had it sent to on his calendar. I don't know.
I don't care enough to know.
The Russian calendar is or has been different from the Georgian calendar, and that's one of the reasons why stupid geek knowledge alert. That's why Napoleon was able to beat the crap out of the Allies at Austerlitz. That's the reason.
Oh, geez, yeah, that's right. I see. Your anti-Napoleonic views are well documented, Mr. Hall. Okay. Jeez, you just want to just run down the French as much as you can.
That's right. Guilty as charged. Oh, that was a mistake. Guilty as charged.
Hey, whoa! I'm part French.
I won't hold it against you, dude.
I don't know which part.
Hold it against you. Have you ever been to France?
Quit picking on Napoleon. He likes ice cream, according to Bill and Ted.
Wow.
I was in Paris during the 50th anniversary of the liberation of Paris by the Allies, and it was really sweet. I mean, this is how old I am. That was like a long time ago.
Wow.
But,
You've lived a life, my friend.
Let me put it this way: the French are French-speaking German, very chauvinistic, very nationalistic, and very racist. So not big on France. I like France as a country. It's beautiful, but the people, not so much.
But I do like Napoleonic history. I like that period. And I do, not saying I like him, but I do find him interesting as a character in history. Sure. I do. I mean, honestly, there's like so much to unpack there.
See, so now you're gonna you're like incentivizing my geek.
I'm just saying
of Austerlitz. See what happened. You see, is that the record said that they would be there at the same date as everybody else.
Oh, okay, all right.
But you see, they had different calendars, and no one. It was like going with metric versus American. Like feet
imperial
meters in terms of calendars, and that's why everything just went against everyone. Everything went against Napoleon.
So one of Kubrick's, because he had many, lost project, and his biggest and one that he wanted to do the most was about Napoleon. And I guess that there's still some push to try to make that made. I know, like Terry Gilliam. I don't know for sure if that's the one, because he's claimed that he was trying to do one of the like post Kubrick projects is kind of like linked to that, and I'm hoping, because he is really interesting as far as making things happen, because that would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Just one more thing, just for what it's worth. My grandfather on my mother's side, who I really didn't have, he was like literally Archie Bunker incarnate. Okay. I mean, in so many ways, like the chair, even like that was his chair, and but he was there day 2 at Normandy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rarely ever spoke about anything in the war, and it was a Thanksgiving. Everybody was eating, and somebody just happened to mention the war or something about it. He was talking about, I mean, literally, you couldn't see the beach for the bodies. You were walking on bodies.
Yeah.
And then he also said something about at Christmas time, whenever like they had these weird ceasefires, which is still hard to process, right? He said, "Oh yeah, it was no problem. You could share a meal or actually get something from the Germans, but it was the French you had to watch, because they would sneak into your tents and steal shit." And I was just like, what? Yeah. But then like after that, he would shut up and he wouldn't talk about it anymore. So
I
but
think
that's interesting. I just thought, oh,
I think if there was a graph between how much, like my dad was in Korea,
okay.
and so he never talked about it, refused to talk about it. And I think that if you were going to graph this out, the more action somebody saw in a conflict, the less likely it is for them to actually talk about it.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably fair. And also, I think those that felt maybe noble about the cause don't speak about it as well. The ones that were forced into it,
Yeah,
like the draft, because I think that's a lot of reason why you hear Vietnam vets, speak up as much as they do, because a lot of them didn't want to go.
Oh yeah, true enough.
So, yay, imperialism!
They teach you how to kill, but
What's
they
that?
don't teach you how to live with yourself after that. Because if you look at a country like America, how many tens of thousands of homeless veterans do you have?
Oh,
How many
ridiculous.
unstable people join law enforcement?
Yep.
That's messed up, man.
It is, and the thing is, it's I've talked about this before. 15 to 20% of the people, of the rioters on January 6th at the Capitol, were ex-military.
Yep.
And so these are people who
Many were still active too.
A lot of them were active. They've probably
Yeah.
been dinged a couple of times. And for those of you who are young, dinged is basically you've gotten a concussion, probably a minor head injury of some kind.
Yeah.
And your cognitive faculties are probably not where they should be. And they just kind of imbibe these kind of conspiracy theories because they have limited cognitive abilities there. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, but
and it's dangerous.
The sad thing is they're allowed to bear arms. So my question is, being a man of color, if I had to go to America and I'm sitting wherever in a shop and I see a white dude with a gun, I mean, where does his freedom begin and where does my safety end? Am I supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
I don't know how stable he is. I mean, that's not a way to live, man.
It's unfortunate, but here in the States, it does vary from state to state. About like Florida has a stand your ground law, so that the only thing you have,
law.
It is an incredibly stupid law, which just incentivizes people to shoot other people. Here in Massachusetts,
Zimmerman.
Here in Massachusetts, yeah, there are a lot of people who have guns here, but people aren't open carrying. You don't walk into a store and there's someone packing heat out, where you can see it. So it really does vary from state to state.
I mean, what does carrying a gun have to do with being free? I don't get that.
It's NRA propaganda. Neil, what do you have to say from the great land of Canada there?
The great land of Canada. People here carry guns too. Some people have them. You have to have permits and stuff, though.
Yes.
You can't have automatic weapons because they're not necessary in the day-to-day unless you're going to war.
Tested?
But are we what?
Are you tested for your mental stability?
Yes, of course. You have
I
to
don't
go
think
through all
that's
kinds
the
of
case
stuff.
in America.
No.
Neil,
clearly it's not.
No.
Clearly, no. I just like Neil going, of course it is. What kind of country would this be if we let anybody have a gun?
Problem is even with the testing for mental stability and stuff, people can still slip through the cracks. We've had people go ballistic with guns here, right? So just look what happened in Nova Scotia recently, where that guy fucking painted his car up to look like a cop car and went around neighborhoods, and twice he did it, shooting fucking people up. So
that's some sick fucking shit.
Yeah.
Stand your ground. There are some good points to it, but again, a lot of these laws act new. And this is just another example of everything in everyday society now. Is there's no nuance, right? There's blanketed, right? Because the idea was I know the case that they always bring up is in PA. there was this, you had to retreat.
Mm.
So a woman retreated into her basement and she had no place to go. The guy came down the stairs. She shot him. He survived, sued her, and won. So they always use this. Yes. So they always use that case and cases like it to say, well, you don't want that to happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that case, you know, I mean, if somebody breaks into your home, you should be allowed to meet them with deadly force. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. But if you're out in public, it doesn't mean that it's the Wild fucking West and you need to be fucking strapping a Glock, you know, to your ass every time you go to Subway. You know what I mean? I mean, just come on.
Exactly.
So, and there is this whole idea of checks and balances. That's the other thing. It's insane because, and I'm sorry to my Democratic friends, which, by the way, I don't belong to either party. I'm very progressive. Andy can back me up on that.
Hallelujah.
Progressive. Yeah. So, thanks to Clinton, he broke up the communications between the ATF and the FBI and all these people. So for a long time, even though he did pass the whole what is it? The arms, what is the word we use for
the assault weapons?
The ban on
assault
automatic
weapon,
weapons.
yes, even though that doesn't translate to actually what it means. But anyways, even though he passed that, he broke up the division between what the ATF and them do. So if somebody the ATF flags doesn't mean that the FBI knows or the CIA or any of these, you know, Homeland Security said all these people fall through the cracks. Hence 9/11, Waco, all these other things. So perfect example. First job I got as a cop was in a very small town. And in that small town, the judge was a retired deputy. And we had this guy who was just absolutely fucking bonkers. Okay. He would trip. He bought more security than, you know, Fort Knox for this little domicile that he was living with this family of this woman. He kind of, you know, gaslit to marry him, and, you know, they move in with the in-laws, and, you know, the in-laws suddenly have falling incidents. You know, this guy has money issues. It's a whole scary fucking thing. You know, he's nuts, but he's also kind of nuts, right?
I think I saw that on Jerry Springer.
Yeah. So, but he's always setting off his alarms, and what he does, he times law enforcement's response. And we had all these kind of issues with him, and the judge knew this. The judge knew about all this stuff. Plus, he had been also placed in a psychiatric ward before. Yeah. Right? What's the guy do? He goes to the gun store owned by the judge to buy a gun. Now, under the laws, if you were it was voluntary, involuntary, because certain states don't. There's a deviation, and sometimes that deviation doesn't translate federally, so it doesn't automatically get flagged, right? So even though he was housed someplace, sometimes you don't know why. So whenever they want to give him his gun under the Brady law, you have to wait so long because of a handgun. He was flagged, so he tells him, "Well, I can't say it again until this flag is lifted." Well, during the flag, the FBI or ATF is supposed to contact you. And the judge tells me, well, they didn't contact me, so I sold it to him. I'm like, dude, you know this guy. You've seen this guy.
That's criminal negligence.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the kind of guy, if I told you now we had a mass shooting, somebody shot up a school, somebody shot up this would be like your top 3, probably your top 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you sold him a goddamn gun. You know, I'm sorry. There's a lot of problems out there. And again, it's this whole idea of states' laws. And I hate to be that kind of guy, but I'm sorry. States' laws need to go away. Just saying.
True.
What people don't realize is that it isn't just state laws. It's the idea that police departments have dictatorial powers.
Yep.
Regarding on the municipality. So it isn't just states, it's about the locality that you have to be in, whether or not the police can put you in a chokehold. So I could be living here in my liberal enclave, but I go to the next city over that's a little bit less liberal, and suddenly the cops can put me in a chokehold if they feel it's necessary.
Yep.
So it isn't just 50 individual states, it's all these little municipalities, and they all have different rules about how they can use force, and it's madness here.
Oh yeah. So Neil, whenever I was in, Chester, where I started all this fun, fantastic life of mine, I could arrest you literally for annoying a police officer.
Really?
Wow.
But I like annoying police officers.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly. It wouldn't matter. I wouldn't even have to explain how you annoyed. I would just say you annoyed me. How did he annoy me? Because he looked like he annoyed me, and that would have been
annoyance.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that is one of the laws. And also, so one of the
annoyance, dude. What is that? A felony or a misdemeanor? I mean, what's up with that?
It's a misdemeanor, but still, I can literally arrest you for that.
It's the introductory. It's like a doorway to get into a major.
It's subjective.
Exactly. So, I know Neil. I mean, obviously, me and him are cool.
So I'm annoying.
Well, yeah. But okay, so Seamus and Neil are cool, but Officer Asshole, right, and Neil are not going to probably make. Are probably not going to make it out okay, because if you are annoying him and he wants to arrest you, guess what he's going to, and then he's going to add on resisting arrest, public intox, or anything else he could do. And then, well, hey, at the end of the day, Judge, he was drunk, and whenever I tried to talk to him and straighten him out, he tried to assault me.
Yeah.
And really, all those laws are state and are so vague. It doesn't matter.
I didn't have any salt with me at all.
I would arrest.
No tequila shots.
Yeah.
I think it boils down to qualified immunity. And another big problem that America has is gypsy cops, because of the unions. When a cop does something bad, instead of getting fired, he's allowed to resign and go work somewhere else. And his new employer is not allowed to do any info check, on his history. What's up with that?
Yeah,
wow.
Simply Secular. Hello, Simply Secular. Last week, a cop arrested a guy for walking down the middle of the snow-covered street in the U.S. Yeah. I just want to say that I would arrest Neil for being too tall.
In the U.S. Oh, that narrows it down.
Yeah, well.
That good bit.
What, you're going to arrest me for being too tall?
I would. Taller than me means you're too tall. You would be arrested, sir. Being an annoyance, because you'd be an annoyance.
He's tall and he's annoying as fuck. Arrest his ass.
Yeah.
So one more shout out to my favorite city that I grew up in, that I still am. Oh, they'll love this. Another, so I'm sure some of you have been on the internet, right? And you've seen those crazy laws that happen in towns, right? Yeah. So there's many actually here, but one just always makes me laugh. If a woman in Chester, West Virginia contracts a venereal disease, she must immediately alert the mayor, the police chief, and the fire chief.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
He gets around.
Yes.
Man.
If she does it immediately, she can be charged.
Wow.
If that's not fascism, then I don't know what is.
Right. That's fantastic. It's awful
here too.
It's awful what I am saying. It's awful, but I'm sorry. As a humor point, it's fantastic.
I can't remember where in Saskatchewan this is, but you can be arrested for hosing down your pig in a back alley.
Oh, Christ.
Well, that's just common sense. You got to go to the major road, Neil. You got to hose down your pig.
You got to put them out front, on the main road, and hose them down out there, right? Because that's where all the drains are. So
exactly.
That way that whole swine flu shit goes right down the drain.
That's common sense,
Right.
That's just common
sense. You got to clean the swine before you dine.
That's right. Man,
Oh, goodness.
I had something funny I was going to say. Now I can't fucking remember what it was because
It's my fault.
Seamus
My fault.
misses one fucking episode and
Yeah.
completely hijacks the next
Wow.
one.
That's right, man.
You haven't
Welcome back
even talked about
strong.
Seamus missing an episode. We're
Sorry
gonna
about that,
shame
guys.
Seamus now? No.
Sorry,
He's
guys.
a job and he has things to do, unlike me. No job. Thing to do.
It was just responsibilities.
How's it? Well, I mean, seriously though, how are things with that, Andy? Are you doing okay?
I am muddling along. I am luckier than most people. I'm the blog, my blog, cheap plug for my blog, Laughing in Disbelief. Hasn't been doing that badly lately. So I get a few shekels from that. I monetized for all of you who are like looking at
Nice.
ads now and,
Nice.
and like shaking your fist in the air. I've monetized this, so I get a nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nothing from YouTube.
Hey,
So-
your blog. I mean, seriously.
Oh,
I mean, I was joking with you, but I mean, I'm serious. I mean, like your thing about fucking Green, whatever her name is, Mary.
Margie Taylor, mother
Thank you.
fucking Green.
That was fantastic. I mean, again, it's very Onion-esque as far as it's so. I mean, and it's unfortunate because for a satirical writer, the world has become satirical, right?
It has.
Yeah. I mean, literally. I mean, even though I know you and I know what you're posting, I'm like, I had to look at it twice myself. And then Robert Stanley is like, is this real? Because it sounds real, Oh,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you're doing satire, you have to be able to make it sound like it could happen.
yeah.
And you question it.
Well, again, I have to ask you with her.
No.
With
No.
her the Jewish lasers, right?
Hey,
So
whoa. You leave your ladies alone, Mary. Well,
Wow.
ex-Jew, but
okay. Well, so yeah. Well, that's a question for you, though. That's part B of the question. So part one of the question is because she claimed that the Jewish lasers are burning down California, right?
Right.
Well, isn't California run by the Jewish media? So, hello, what are they? Is this a false flag? What's going on here, Marjorie? Come on, are they really doing that? And I have to ask Neil, how much control do you have of those losers? I know you're an ex-Jew, but come on, what does it go down to?
I have absolutely no control over them.
Well, you should argue for that, okay? Come on,
Why?
I'm joking. Come on.
I don't even think she believes half of the bullshit she
She
says.
does.
She's
does.
just making an opportunistic statement and, catering to the Trump and he two-legged cows, the MAGA toothless cretins. That's music in their ear.
I just bought you a beer, Andy.
I see that. I saw that.
So you are the Riders of Rohan here to save us.
Oh, the actual background's a bar. I love that.
It is the background. Yes, it is a proper
That's
place.
nice.
That's what it is.
Nice. Well done there, man.
Thank you. I try. I make attempts. That's what I do. I make
Well,
attempts.
hey, I know again. I apologize for being late. What's everybody drinking? I already told you guys what I'm drinking.
Yeah, we did that.
I'm
I'm
I didn't
drinking
know.
beer.
Oh.
I'm drinking beer.
What is that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Captain Black.
Captain Jack Black.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Captain
engaging in
Captain Morgan Black.
a haze brain damage.
In a haze.
Smoking a joint, if you do that kind of
nice.
thing, Holland's the place to be.
We
Oh
don't-
man, I tell you what. I wish I. You know what? Well, I probably should.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. Be a devil. Live a little, you rascal, you.
This
No,
is my new one. I'm drinking this stuff here.
Yeti.
Yeti.
Nice.
Yeah. No,
It's
I
really easy
you know
to
what?
get into.
So I only tried pot
It's
twice
all
when I was
fun.
very young.
Oh.
One time I loved it, and the other time I didn't. It just didn't do anything for me.
Wow, represent.
Oh, there you go.
recognize.
That's
I think
Bubba
Neil
Kush
is
right
good.
there. And then we got some Girl Scout cookie here.
Yeah, you devil,
There
you.
you.
It's funny how we just start talking about marijuana. The entire conversation
Yeah.
evolves into Neil,
Yeah.
Amos,
Yeah.
James, and it's
Look at that bud right there. Look at that one.
Ah,
right
sweet.
well, what kind of Girl Scout cookie is that? What kind of Girl Scout? Is it like a pinwheel? Is it a thin mint? What is that?
What kind is Girl Scout? It's one of the higher THC level ones. It's over 19. So
nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's kind of old to be a Girl Scout.
21. It's just called that for fuck's sake. GSC is actually what they call it, which Girl Scout cookie is what it stands for.
So, does any of you guys have asthma besides me?
Nope.
By the LA asthmatic guy. So, all right. So, a friend of mine, this is like 2 years ago, that I jam with, right? And he was smoking a joint, and he's like, "Hey, you want something?" I was like, "Fuck, I haven't had one in 20 years. Why not?" And I tell you what, I never breathed better afterwards.
Really?
Good man.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is that a normal phenomenon?
People do that with people that suffer from asthma. Here in Holland, they're entitled to medicinal marijuana.
Get the fuck
and
out.
Apparently it does help.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I could see that now after having that. So
it might be better if you do it in the form of an edible, though, rather than the smoke, because the smoke can somewhat hamper that. But if you do it like I do,
but I won't look cool, Neil. No.
It's not. It's about feeling.
You can also make tea.
But I can now get gummy bears again. My buddy's back with some more gummy bears, so yay!
Nice.
Gummy bears are fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried any other drugs?
Yes.
Shit, you rebel,
yes.
you are.
Yes, on fire.
I have done, because they grew wild all over the fucking place here. Mushrooms, although I don't care for them. I've done them 3 times. Every fucking time they make me throw up, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Okay.
Can't stand it. Acid, I did.
Deal.
And have you ever tried LSD?
Yes.
Shit. I remember when I took it, I had to keep saying to myself, this will pass, and this is not real.
It's so
took
much fun.
8 hours.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a
Shit.
long lasting effect.
Yep.
Sam says,
all right, cool. All right. So let me ask those that have actually tripped. So I'm 43. I'm going to be 44 here sooner than later.
That's how the math worked, I believe.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I've always wanted to. Yeah, I've always wanted to do it, but obviously for certain work that I did.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah, I never did it. Am I too old to trip? Should I trip now? Should I not trip?
Age has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
You need a strong brain. So the worst thing you can do if you have problems or stress, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, do it with someone that's done it before.
Yeah.
So they can, if you get into a bad trip, they can talk you up. But it's not to be taken lightly.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest reason I haven't done it.
No, don't play with that shit.
Yeah, because I've heard too many people that have had bad trips and
they go loony for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Well, I think you all know how. I mean, at this point in your lives, you understand how your own brain works and functions. For me, it's a loosely knit together assembly with Scotch tape and maybe some paper clips. And so I never felt comfortable really doing or trying any kind of hallucinogens.
Really?
Wow. When I took LSD,
I am crazy, Neil. I am like crazy.
You're kind of afraid of things you might see, right?
I'm a crazy.
Yeah, you see a lot of things.
Why is my
you
peanut
hear
butter
a lot of
talking to
things.
me?
You have to have a strong brain.
The jelly.
James, my brain is not strong, brother. My brain is not strong.
Well, it is. The worst thing you can do when you do that is be in a crowded place.
Yeah.
So what I used to do, I used to go into the forest and then trip out in the forest, climb a tree, take, a few bottles of water with me. Shit, it would take me away. It wouldn't bring me back for a while.
I cannot even tell you how anxiety provoking it is for me to think that I could actually climb a tree. Because the one time that I tried to do anything on monkey bars whatsoever, I broke my tibia. Oh. That's the major bone, mind you, in the leg. And so I would be afraid because, I'm not really fragile, but I got issues. I have issues.
Andy, you're forgetting something.
Tell me.
I'm a baboon born in Africa, you know? Trees.
Well,
I'm made for that shit.
yeah, I'm not. I am a medically. I am someone who is like stitched together by Scotch tape. That's what I am. And taking hallucinogens could be make the whole system go sideways, my friend. That's what I'm afraid of.
What's your?
You know, maybe it's not for you.
What's your biggest issue there, Andy? Because like, I have OCD issues.
Yeah.
And I have anxiety, and like, so the OCD thing is like, if nobody knows John, if you do know John, he has tattoos, and we talk about them a lot because they're fun, and I like tattoos, and I would love to have a tattoo, but I know myself, right? If I put like 13 is my favorite number for many reasons.
Okay.
Personally, if I put 13 here, I would go nuts about the font, the location, the color. You know what I mean? It would never.
I hear what you're saying.
End, right? Yeah. So that's why I don't know if I'll ever get comfortable with doing it. So
for me, for me, it's like I've always been, because I have low muscle mass, which means that my muscles are flabby. For you normies out there, I don't want to put shades on normies, but even when your muscles are relaxing, your central nervous system is still sending some kind of connection, some kind of like energy. You're still being energized. The muscles are still kind of at rest, but actively at rest. My muscles aren't. My muscles are not. And so that has created a variety of issues for me as I was.
Is that a physiological issue or is that a mental issue though?
It's a neurological issue that manifests as a mental issue. So so I couldn't talk right. I couldn't move my body right.
Oh, wow.
And so there's all these control issues that I have, which I've been able to manage, so to speak, because I had like verbal issues too, of course. So yeah, the idea that I would be losing control and maybe even like climbing a tree, James, and even the attempt of climbing a tree would be like, oh, Andy, he's going to the ER. Yeah.
Dude, you know what it is? Self-knowledge is a virtue.
That's what it is.
In life, no one can tell me that they know what they want, because that's impossible, because that implies that you know everything.
Yeah.
All you need to know in this life is know what you don't want. And what you don't want, don't do. What's the point in you crying to make others smile? Fuck that project.
I like making people smile.
Not when I have to cry.
No, I don't want to. I'll be smiling too. What is it? When you're smiling.
Yeah, true.
The whole world smiles with you. Sorry.
Now.
I just got back from band practice, so my singing is kind of.
You got sacked from band practice for your. Well, you're okay.
Sacked.
I don't know.
What the hell?
So Neil, do you sing? Do you sing for like the ears?
I'm the vocalist.
You're the vocalist, huh? So give us some bars. Give us.
Neil can fucking sing, dude. There's no doubt there, man.
So Neil, you gotta throw a couple of bars out there. You gotta throw a couple of verses.
A couple of bars out there.
Yeah. There's a pun. There's a pun there.
There is a pun.
Whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love.
Yeah.
If I thought hard about it, I could probably.
This is your moment to shine, Neil.
No.
Shine like a star.
You're putting me up against like I can't sing like.
Well, I don't know. I mean, name something.
Bruce Springsteen is safe.
Oh yeah. Oh come on! Like I play
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Born to Run, or maybe Thunder Road, or something.
You know what? This is unfair. Maybe what? It would be cool that we did this. Like someday we knew a song we both could play and we could do it.
Yeah, we should. We'll talk about that. And let's do that.
That's cool. All right, so that's unfair. I apologize, dude. So.
Send in the clowns. Barry Purcell's like, I want to hear "Send in the Clowns."
The show tomorrow. I'm not even saying the show tomorrow. It's gonna be savage. Barry Purcell is a beast. John Hamill is a beast. I'm just a clown.
Well, to be absolutely clear, neither of you, and I know you would say this out loud, know anything really about this. Correct? I mean, you know AII to a point, but I don't think you know what we're going to talk about. Is that fair?
What I can say, one thing, let me talk about David Letterman for a minute. David Letterman, when people asked him, what do you remember, David Letterman, from all the interviews that you've done? He's like, I don't remember anything. Basically, I do a lot of I do some stuff before the guest comes on. I load it into my brain, and once it's done, I don't remember a whole lot. So I am similar to David Letterman. I will do my research, because anyone who's seen my shows where I do one-on-one interviews, I actually know things for maybe 20 minutes. I know things for maybe 20 minutes to an hour.
And he knows things.
Yeah.
I know things for a very limited window of time. So when I'm on your show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, see how that's a plug? I will know something what I'm talking about.
I'll watch it.
But there are things you don't. I mean, what I'm trying to say is I did not, myself or John did not provide you any information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. There are a lot of things I know I don't know. There are things I don't know, and those are the things that concern me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So putting Neil in the hot seat, because that's what I've been doing in this entire episode. We're going to be talking about the
I can take it, man. I can take it.
I know you can, brother. That's why you've been able to tolerate my miserable self for the last 9 episodes of the show.
Yeah, but I don't think you're miserable. So
I obviously have to level up my game then.
But tons of my music is music to shave by, and there's a reason for that. There's actually a video. IQ, see if you can find it. IQ's in the chat. IQ can find anything.
Music to shave by?
Yes.
That
one
could
of
be
our songs.
in many ways.
One of our songs is being used in that video, music to shave by.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So the guy even does one of them 360 versions where you can see all around and stuff.
Nice.
And he talks a little bit before the song kicks in. There's like 20 minutes of him talking about stuff. Then he talks about the song, and this is what I like about the song. The way he starts, he has a lyric that ends with a word that starts the next line, kind of thing, right? Which I've done with that, and then he goes into it and he starts shaving, and while the song's playing, I'm like, what the hell?
Nice.
I thought you had to ask for permission for shit like that. But
So I'm
okay with it.
Songs to shave by. Are you talking about the nether regions, or are you talking about the respectable?
No. The respectable. Well, some of us are respectable, but anyway. See, I can poke too.
I understand. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, he does his whole face with it our song "Tangled," which is the song that I use for the intro and outro of the interviews. I'm doing new one for the after party. It's going to be a different one of my songs called "Failing Gracefully." So,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you guys do want to hear, you can go over to SoundCloud and head over to SoundCloud and look up Liminis, Liminis. Lots of yeah, and you'll hear it. We got kind of some acoustic stuff, heavier stuff, some not so heavy stuff, hard rockish, that kind of stuff. There's we don't like to have that one sound like you listen to the album and it sounds like one big long fucking song, like a Nickelback album or something.
Oh.
Or the Five Finger Death Punch. It's like you start at the beginning and the whole thing's just one long song. We like to move shit around. We have bluesy sounding stuff, heavier stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Nice.
Show us our influence.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. So I will to say to what Neil just said. First off, Nickelback. That I tell you
they're
what,
okay, but not really my cup.
They're like the number one hated band. That's like
they have some good tunes.
No, recently that was like a poll that came out. They're like the number one hated band.
Really?
So, really. Yeah. I'm not a fan. But honestly,
look at this photograph.
Nice.
But I like Leader of Men. I used to do that one at karaoke all the time because that's a decent song. It's a nice, cool acoustic one.
I will say this though, for the folks that don't know, seriously,
they live in my city.
No, Neil, I'm trying to give you a plug, dude. Come on,
seriously,
yeah. Neil could fucking sing, dude. Okay, honestly, geographic issues are the biggest issues why I haven't tried to find him or cornered him to doing a project my way. Okay, So
My way.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, but
You know,
Yeah.
I just want to say, Operation Mindcrime by Queen.
Fantastic album.
It is near and dear to my heart. I'm not
Is
gonna
that
lie.
Queensryche?
Yeah, Queensryche.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
one before Empire.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is a good album too, but Operation Mindcrime was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My brother is big into that. Also named John, believe it or not. So yeah.
You know, the only thing that I'm saying here is that I'm lucky that in the United States of America we have gone way past any kind of dystopian world that Operation Mindcrime would reference. We're in a
Okay.
far better place.
IQ sucks. He's not finding the SoundCloud link.
I was going to say about Barry is that Barry can go in blind because he is smarter and more talented. And when you have talent and intelligence, you can do anything blind. You can just go in there and do. Me, I have to do research. That's how I feel.
Barry is fantastic. He is the unceremoniously dubbed one of the other prophets. I will say that. He's probably been on the show more than anybody else at this point.
Now I feel angered that I'm not a prophet, to tell you the truth.
Well,
I'm profitless. I feel like I should have some kind of status.
Well, I guess we'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay, Andy. I mean,
all right,
all
right.
Or you send me a prostitute, or I don't know. I'm not saying that's what Barry did,
right?
But I'm just saying, there are certain things. I'm just saying. Whiskey, actually, but
whiskey. It's a universal language.
Yeah. So no, Barry didn't send me that. So, but yeah, seriously.
Tons of mice. I don't even know how you're not modded at this point. Tons of mice.
Right? Tons of mice should be modded everywhere he goes.
Done.
I don't know how to mod.
Wow. All I gotta say is, I'm extremely stoned. 10,000 feet and still climbing. Beaming across the galaxy. Whee!
I kind of like Barry's last comment.
Yeah.
I feel like this is all just an attempt to distract us from the fact that Neil is still not singing "Send in the Clowns."
All right, so do we need to get the lyrics for you there, Neil? Come on, you want to do it? Come on,
"Send in the Clowns."
Come on.
I don't even know how I've heard it like a bunch of times when I was like a kid, but not recently.
Come on, Krusty the Clown could do it. Come on,
ladies and gentlemen, what we have.
He's a clown.
It's the sales technique known as highballing, so that we ask Neil to sing a particular song, which he refuses, but he will sing possibly a song that he's more comfortable with.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's playing hard to get.
Oh, fine.
I mean, shit. No, I'm saying.
Are we a pair? There you go, a little bit.
I have to tell you, I break out into song regularly.
Keep talking.
I can't fucking sing this.
Come on, Neil. Keep doing it, Neil. Come on.
We have faith in you, brother.
Come on, Neil.
Climb the mountain. Be the best you can be.
Climb the mountain. Oh.
This is your moment to shine like a star.
I don't sound anything at all like Judy Collins. Like what?
I'm cheeky enough to sing Queen songs, to tell you the truth. Not in public, mind you, but here within the confines of the house and in my car.
You know what? So there are two songs. I love Queen. In fact, so I think both of you know. Maybe if you don't, I will let you know. So on my walls, literally in the living room, are album covers. I mean, literally albums hanging on the wall. And news around the world is on this side. I love Queen, okay? But Fat Bottom Girls and Bohemian Rhapsody I can never hear again.
Really? Tell me why.
I've heard them so many goddamn times. I just want to like put a fucking syringe through either side of my ear. I just can't do it anymore. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. You know what I mean? I love Queen, but I can't do those songs.
What about Bicycle?
Oh, I love Bicycle.
What about the song about relativity? The 39, right? The 30 is it 39?
His shit talking about Star Wars is a bit much. I'm just saying. So, but you know.
There you go. Tons posted the link to Judy Collins on SoundCloud. So if you really want to hear the song, Barry,
of course,
go listen to it by the original singer, because I ain't fucking singing it.
I didn't realize that was actually Judy Collins. So I thought it was
It's funny.
promo. So, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he's done it too, but I think he did it on TV. It's some fucking variety show or some shit back in the day.
Neil, Lawrence Welk did it. Why can't you?
Right.
The name of the song that I'm thinking about by Queen on Night at the Opera is 39, which is the best song about, I don't even know if it's about general relativity or specific relativity, but it is 39. B-side, when there were still B-sides.
I know I've heard that song, but I just can't recall it.
Can you hear me calling you? It's that song.
Why are you hitting yourself?
Because I'm doing the beat, my friend. I'm like, the only beat I know being who I am is the 3/4 waltz tempo. That's what it is. That's all I can do. Right? Nothing more complicated than that.
I like Queen has like there's like few bands that have like that. Just they have that sound. They can't be reproduced. Like Queen, Doors was like another one too. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Fat bottom girls, they make the Seamus prophet cry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Inquisitive Quandary. He's offending me with the rhythm thing there, right?
Hey, I'm not saying I don't like the song, my man. I love the song. It's great. But I've heard it too much. I just can't. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because of where I live. They play all the time because there's a lot of fat bottom girls. I'm just saying. So
wow, West Virginia, vaccinated, up to the gills, but yet still.
They don't. The problem is they don't understand. They need the bottoms to be fat. Doesn't like mean everything else should be a fish fucking dinner. I'm just saying, you know.
No. Let's be nice here, folks.
I'm just joking. I like some BBWs. Come on, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's that Spinal Tap song?
which one?
Big Bottoms.
Oh,
That's
we
a
can't listen to it unless it's up to 11. So,
Indeed.
We were making Spinal Tap movie references today at band practice, actually, because my drummer is going on about how he wants to get a fire bell. I'm like, you are not getting a fire bell. If you get a fire bell, I am leaving the band, because I'm not going to sit here while every other fucking beat you hit is that goddamn fire bell that resonates for like 25 minutes afterwards, which is like Nigel's guitar.
I am a crappy person across the board. I'm a crappy person. I'm a crappy boyfriend. I'm a crappy everything. But the one thing that I feel like I have achieved in my relationship with my girlfriend is to show her the Christopher Walken SNL skit.
Oh, cowbell.
Cowbell.
yes.
I believe that if nothing else in my life, I have been able to share that the more cowbell episode of SNL.
I tell you what. You know what? I'll defer to Neil. I kind of think that Blue Oyster Cult's one of those bands that kind of fly under the radar, don't they? I mean, they're pretty good. Oh,
they're pretty big. People know who they are, but yeah, they don't get played a lot as, like, say, some of the other classic rock bands.
Yeah. I mean, Buck. Fuck, I can't remember his real name. But like once he took. I mean, like I. It kind of reminds me of like the Michael Schechter of the world. You know what I mean? Or the Burt Gallagher. He's kind of like he's so good, but like nobody really talk about him. You know, in that way. I mean, he's got
underrated.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there, and a lot of their like Off the Rails is another song. I mean, they have a lot of songs that are just outside the box. They're kind of like Steely. Yeah, Steely Dan makes like Zeppelin, maybe, I don't know. They have that like bizarre kind of like niche.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get bizarre niches, you could talk Frank Zappa all day, right?
Zappa.
Guys all over the spectrum.
Yep.
But I think Frank Zappa would be canceled today.
Yeah, especially with songs like especially that Joe's Garage album.
You know, let me say this: Frank Zappa, if he was an artist today, would be intelligent enough to navigate whatever's going on in our culture at this particular time.
Oh yeah,
and be successful at the same time. That's who Frank Zappa is, I believe, at his core. Someone who understands the landscape and navigate it properly.
But he would also be canceled for a lot of the songs that he did about big tits and shit.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing is,
That was
I,
too, right?
okay,
Not that it's okay, but that's just
So-
the way it was.
my crappy thought experiment, and here it is if
Okay.
Frank Zappa landed here and started out his career right now, then he would be able to navigate anything from crappy TikTok to crappy YouTube and make songs that were not only acceptable but also pushing the limit, and people would like it at the same time. That is artistic genius right there, at least in my humble opinion.
Where are those people now, though?
Zappa's dead, dude.
So,
Well, yeah, but I mean, just seriously, like, don't have all of those people because people are scared to push that envelope. A lot of people are for whatever reason. Why?
I don't know.
you always have to
I
know.
think
You have to know the
people
time.
have passion. You know, when you have passion and you enjoy what you do, you push the envelope.
Mm.
And now these youngsters, they've got their deals. They have to play what the studio says. You know, it's become big money.
Yeah.
It's
The
been
thing
that
is,
way for a long time.
Yep.
I think being the part of being an artist is knowing where the limits are, and those limits change day to day, and knowing how to push those limits. It's a difficult thing, but Zappa is like one of those guys who is so smart that he would be able to I'm not gonna turn this conversation into my fandom for Mark Maron. I'm not, though. I'm sure I've done this many times at different intervals.
What episode are we on? 9. So
Yeah.
this will be 3, 4 of the 9s. No.
Thank you. I need someone to keep me in check. That's what I need.
I need to address a statement that was made by Scapegoat Revenge and exposing your titties and beer girlfriends to possibly getting eaten by Satan. Nope. As lovely as it was, it wouldn't work today. Have you heard some of the popular music today where they talk about, pussy and titties, and it still happens today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen.
you know what? That fucking ties in perfectly to the whole showing off guns. Because did you see Ben Shapiro trying to show off his guns lately on Twitter? That was fantastic.
I'm surprised you know how to operate one.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry. I thought if you had guns, that was a gun show. You know what I mean? And
I got your gun show right here.
yeah, exactly. Come on.
Hello.
And you're talking about the guy who doesn't understand the whole there's a lot of wet pussies in his house and all that shit. You know what I mean? Just oh my God. I mean, there's a lot of people named Jebediah and Ezekiel and Western Pennsylvania that are churning milk right now that are quite frankly pounding much better pussy and getting it wet than Ben Shapiro, I bet. I'm just saying.
My name is Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak really fast
Yeah,
so I could fool stupid people to think that I'm smart.
exactly.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
there's a
like
lot of
a rapper, but for repressed conservatives.
yeah.
Dude is an incel.
And
You know what I'm saying? He's, you know what it is? When I look at him and I look at his body language, the dude is a latent homosexual. But he doesn't really want to come out and fly his pink rainbow. It's all good, it doesn't make a difference to me.
Sure.
But you can see he doesn't believe 90% of the bullshit he spews.
Well, the thing is like the problem is that there's a lot of people who are entrapped by their audience, right?
Yep.
So they're entrapped by the people who are their Patreon, supporters. Thank you, by the way, Patreon supporters. I haven't said that. Neil's like, Andy, what kind of crap are you later innings? It's been an hour and 20 minutes. This is when you start talking. But, people like Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, they're entrapped by their audience, and they haven't saved their pennies. They haven't saved enough money so that they can become independent and say the words that they need to, or that they could say.
Yep.
They're just entrapped by the system that they've created. It is sad, but oh so freaking predictable. That's what it is.
But you know what the beauty of it is? Both Shapiro and that other incel are too stupid to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Ergo, karma does exist.
Yeah,
I wish it did.
yeah,
It does.
actually,
It's stupid.
but if they did, James, we would be, talking like we'd be praising them in some sense, right?
Wow.
Because they would. Well, I mean, seriously, if they would actually engage in honesty
Mhm.
to where they were,
They
then
can't
yeah,
go in there.
you know what I mean?
That's
then
it.
they
You know what
would.
it is? They got a narrative which they don't believe.
Of course.
And because they don't believe it, it's not convincing.
Yeah.
Well, it's convincing only to people who don't know how to think or know how to process information coming in, who are skeptical thinkers. Those are the Ben Shapiro fans and the Dave Rubin fans of the world, more or less. They're people who are probably young, maybe caught in their class, and can't think out. They can't color outside the lines. And this is
The
the
only
problem.
people that would believe Shapiro would be a redneck, 16 years old, and choose tobacco all day long.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, unfortunately, that's not the case. We have a lot.
Also not.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who just aren't that because people are being polarized by so many different, points. What did
Barry says something very Irish, I think.
yeah.
Yes, he did.
Very Irish.
He did to the point. Well played, sir.
There is
Yeah.
the thing about that is very Irish, I think.
Well,
Karma's not real, so
yeah. So I had this argument with Valer Jericho about this because I brought up Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson.
voluntarily.
Wow.
Well,
Canada's finest.
Why did you have to bring up the name that had to be said?
Shit.
Sorry. So, but I bring up people as a pushback, right? And
No, I'm done.
okay, yeah. All right. Finally, no, just kidding.
The Canadian refuses to have the other
That was hilarious.
on the show.
I love you, Neil. No, but no, seriously, like she kind of like chastised me because I brought them up. Like, are you seriously like these people? Kind of thing. People want them, and her point was, yeah, you don't understand, because of this whole guilt of white privilege and white shame and single males and cis males. You've created this echo chamber where people who are in the majority but feel like they're in the minority and they don't know what to do because they're not allowed to exist. And whenever people like Shapiro...
Tell me more about white genocide.
Yeah, but no, seriously.
No, but he's making a good point.
No, but hold on. These people don't know because they don't know because they weren't told, honestly. So they're just kind of like ostracized, and whenever people like this pop up, they, obviously gravitate, to these people, and they just suck in the granulate sugar as it is, and there they are, and they OD on it, right? Because unfortunately, that's what it is. Because again, we and a lot of the problems of America is America exceptionalism in education, because there's this idea that we were never bad. We were in fact the Virgin Mary, right? We popped out. We were just glorious. We're the shining city on the hill, and we have always been that. And just people bask in our glow, right?
I want to bounce off what you're just saying. The problem with us, and we don't have a Brit here to defend themselves, so that's even better for me, by the way.
We do in the chat.
The problem with Brits or with Britain is that they've had this idea that, I just said idea with an R, by the way.
I was just gonna say That's that Bostonian idea.
That's the Bostonian FU accent. That's what that is. But the problem with the Brits is that they've considered themselves to be the good empire without considering anything about the Opium Wars. Whole different topic here.
Or the colonialism.
And colonialism. And America is like, we're the good guys. It's like, no, not at all.
Yeah, but don't forget, history is always written in the hand of the victor.
Right.
And the British, they living in yesteryear, where they think that Britannia still rules the waves. And I'm sorry to say this, and I'll probably make a lot of British people angry, but Britain has become a third world country. And the only people that don't know that is the British.
The only people who
just
don't
go to their country, look at their infrastructure, look at their roads, look at their housing estates. I mean, that's sad.
And I'll say this, and I want to give a shout out to my English friends who
like
are
Sam Chaos
who are anti-Brexit. It's like they know, but they feel like they're entrapped in that country, just as those of us in the States feel like we're entrapped in the United States of America. We're progressives, right? Don't you feel like you're trapped, Seamus, in some way, in some kind of lunatic asylum?
Yeah, and you know what? I will deal with you on that in a second, my friend.
Oh,
yes.
Sam concurs by your assessment. By the way.
Thank you. But again, the whole idea of when people talk about whitewashing, there's been so much since the Boston Tea Party going forward. The Trail of fucking Tears. I mean, the fact that Andrew Jackson is on a fucking dollar bill. I mean, there's so much. I mean, you don't have to be a Black Lives supporter to understand the fact that we've been fucking dicks for years. For fucking years. Okay? We were British assholes.
We know.
For the most part. Even the ones who were embraced or weren't British embraced this idea. Well, yeah, we weren't as bad as those fuckers over there. And we just fucked people along the way. I mean, it's just fucking disgusting.
No,
so
here in Canada, we're all like...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of bullshit for that. And it is not properly taught in schools, quite frankly. Because American exceptionalism has been the kind of go-to in the foundation, if you will, for education going forward. And that is just not how it should be. Because we need to learn from our experiences. Or maybe we wouldn't have QAnon and this fucking bullshit that happens.
One of the epiphanies I've had lately is that, if we taught basic stuff, basic Salem witch trials, stuff about the satanic panic in the 80s and the 90s, we wouldn't have QAnon today. If we taught our students here in the States about the moral panics, we wouldn't have QAnon.
Let's talk about what happened to MLK, actually what happened to Malcolm X, actually what fucking happened to Freddie Hampton, which is absolute. Those fuckers got killed by our government. Okay, I mean, 2 out of 3, I am absolutely fucking certain. I mean, and it's all because they embraced the idea that the bigger question was poverty, not race. Not saying
exactly.
Yeah, not saying that there isn't a racial issue, but the bigger problem we have is poverty, and that is what the divide is. And the problem is,
amen, brother.
Yeah, and the problem right now is we have people from the right and left trying to fight us on race instead of poverty, because that is the real issue. And
poverty is the biggest source of crime.
I got to take a phone call.
It's like your American conservatives, right? They say a woman doesn't have a right to choose. Abortion should be illegal. No, I look at it, as a, how could I put it, as a spectator. America, the richest country in the world, right? With tens of millions of homeless Americans. including children.
Yeah.
So my point is, instead of worrying about unborn children, worry about the children that you have, because you don't want abortion, because you want these kids to grow up in drug-infested
Yep.
crime, so when they turn 18, you can execute them. All lives matter, or none, or no lives matter.
Yeah.
They Pharisees, hypocrites.
I'm going to narrow this down to Seamus right here. But Seamus, don't you think that by the only way that we can address class issues here in the United States of America is to talk about the racial issues that led us to this point?
No.
Oh, see, now we have debate. Now we have a real discussion here.
No.
We're like an hour and 30 minutes into it.
No.
I think that the only way that you can talk, the only way that you can change, and I'm gonna say this is like, this is the only reason why Georgia is blue right now, somewhat blue, is because of racial politics. That's what I'm gonna say right here and right now, and that's class politics wrapped in race.
Sure.
So we have to talk about race to get class issues resolved, because we are all effed up here in this country.
Well, okay. So I'm going to attack this from a two-prong
Please do.
attack. Although I will concede on one point. So again, I mentioned Fred Hampton. So you think about MLK, and I don't want to get conspiratorial, but maybe I will. Because if you remember, J. Edgar Hoover said that, sent him letters. Maybe you should kill yourself.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It's clear the FBI had
Sure
on and had a program, anti-MLK program, spy program on him.
Right. And then whenever he started, because a lot of people don't know this, whenever things progressed after his "I Had a Dream" speech, he started dealing with labor and poverty. And he reached outside his base and talking to white folks.
Yep.
And it was going to be a massive labor movement. And then all of a sudden, he dies. Fred Hampton, which I haven't seen the movie. It's out now. And I hope that it does well. But the guy, oh my God, he is every bit of everything you wanted from MLK and Malcolm X. I mean, literally. Fucking just, I don't know why people don't talk about him unless we go down this road. So,
do you not know, or do you know in your heart?
Exactly.
Do you know in your heart why we don't talk about it?
I know why. Because Black Panthers, and we have to go to Head Start, Meals on Wheels, all these other things that are social. These are just really? We had to have this to decide that we should take care of our own? And then he sits down with people that listen to a lot of Leonard Skinner albums, okay? So they love the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks to them, and they're like, yeah, it's about labor. It's not because I'm white. It's not because you're black. It's because we're poor. And they actually break down and decide, well, yeah, we're not racist assholes, and we should embrace this stuff. So
the thing is, it's and I, it always goes back to the Russian Revolution for me. It's either that or Germany, 1939. But the thing is, it's Bolsheviks, the communists. They wanted to be like, oh yeah, we're for everybody in the empire, but
except
we're not really for everyone. Yeah. And the thing is, it's and I have to say, it's race trumps class. And I'm going to say that it isn't just here in the United States of America, but across the species.
But that's logical. Because race is the first thing you see. When you see a person, even though you don't know him, and he's darkly packed, that's the only thing you're going to remember about him. You're not going to remember what color shirt he was wearing. You're not going to remember what color sneakers. You're just going to remember the black dude. And that's
right
just,
about that.
I mean, it's not a racist thing. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
We
It's very
distrust what
fair
we
to
don't
say-
know.
And you're right. In the same thing, I'll say that Seamus is an effing Irishman, and that's what I'll say. You're not really one of us, Seamus.
What did you say?
Oh, see, here it is. Some 19th century racism here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, on one hand, you're right. And absolutely right, James. There is this whole toxic, if you're even like suspiciously not Caucasian.
You have to conform. If you don't conform, you're a threat.
Yep.
Well, but here in the States, it's like, I'm sorry, sir, you have a name that might be non-Anglo.
Yes.
Even if.
And by the way, I think you smell of bananas. So spread them cheeks. Sorry about that. I can be a tad abrasive and uncouth at times. Scusi.
Even though I'm an atheist, I'm a Baptist atheist. And you, sir, by the name of Seamus, are probably a Catholic atheist.
You think?
No, that's not true. But the thing is, you're identifying that way. So that means you're not one of the clan.
Or am
I don't know. I'm looking at his ginger hair. I'm pretty much seeing it.
But that's the absurdity of tribalism right there. That's the absurdity. Is that you're Caucasian, but you're not Caucasian.
Yeah.
Coupe
de nature.
I had a drummer in the band that was ginger, and he pointed out that I'm not allowed to say ginger. It just
ginger.
Yeah,
ginger.
It's madness. And you see, here's the thing, everyone, and here's the point: is that's why we need institutions to make us all feel safe inside, so that we don't attack each other.
Well, yeah. So to pile on that. So
excuse me for here's Neil. I'm going to jump out of the stream for a minute because I have a weak bladder. I have no problem saying
you sissy.
Complete flaccid energy. Can we talk about flaccid energy with Joe Biden for a minute when I get back? Because I know that
now you gotta go pee.
I'm so angry about Joe Biden right now. I cannot even talk about it.
Oh, I want to hear about this.
Okay,
he's a Wall Street Democrat. What did you expect?
I will go into
anyone but Trump.
I will be right back.
Go pee. We can talk. So, okay. God damn it! Isn't Andy a dick? No, I'm just kidding.
See.
Oh, buddy.
But you know what? The thing is with America,
tell us about America.
The future is not looking good because, there's so much hatred. Let me put it another way. All Americans love America, but not other Americans. And that's a disgrace. Healthcare is a human right. It's not a privilege for the wealthy and the healthy. That's bullshit.
I suck like everybody else on the show that I don't engage with the chat. But Dr. Jones, I'm not going to go through the
Mordecai.
Yeah, I am not amongst the Knights of Columbus. I don't know where you got that, but okay, whatever, man. It's all right.
Whatever makes your boat float, baby.
Yeah. So, James, you said, am I understanding before that you're not white? Is that correct?
My father was Dutch, a white man.
Okay.
And my mother was a black African woman.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you've had some issues with that, I'm guessing.
When I was growing up, they used to call me a mongrel and a mutt, a dog of no nation. Used to get my ass kicked. And then they kicked my ass until I kicked their ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So getting my ass kicked helped me become a man. Okay, at the time it was happening, it wasn't very nice, but it is what it is. I'm 56 years old, and I come from a generation, men don't cry and men don't snitch. Be a man and take it like a man. And that's what probably formed me into the person that I am today.
Yep.
I feel just as good and just as worthless as my fellow man. I don't see color. That's stupidity. To judge a person on the content of his character.
Yeah, don't feel as if you're worthless, because nobody's
Well, what I'm saying is,
so
when I look at myself, I don't look at the image that the man I should have or could have become, but I look at myself as the loser that I am. And when I say that, what I mean is, I try not to judge others, because my garden is full of skeletons as well. I didn't invent the wheel. I'm not a smart man.
Judge not, yes, ye be judged. So,
True.
That's the expression, right?
True.
I believe Chekhov wrote, "Every day I wake up, I squeeze the slave out of myself." And to tell you the truth, when we look at people who are YouTubers or bloggers or people who are in this space who are activists, if you don't wake up in the morning with that taste in your mouth that you are less than and that you want something to say to that, I don't think you're going to last. I think that you have something to say and you need to say it, and you have to have that taste of poo in your mouth as soon as you wake up in the morning in some way.
Yeah, because I kind of find that is a problem with a lot of people out there right now, that they kind of like be reflexive. Because right now we have this tribalistic kind of thing, or we have to realize, regardless of how you feel, almost half the country voted for Trump.
Yeah.
So that's messed up.
Yeah. So, but still, we have to deal with those people. We have to talk to those people. We have to embrace.
How do you talk to them? What do you say?
Well, we can't go with, well, I'm not going to platform you. I'm, not going to talk to you. And, we have to engage with these people. We have to find a way to deal with this.
I will agree with Seamus to the fact that we need to talk with them, but at the same time, we have a small, and we're going to talk about Biden and the Democrats right now. We're going to alienate our non-American friends.
Oh, yeah, because you want to, yeah, go ahead.
Right. But
go ahead, dude.
We have a small window of opportunity, just like Obama did, right? Yeah. And this is the time to, and no offense to James Henry, we have to be like the Germans in 1940. We have to push as fast as possible and to take as much as we can. We need to just the Democrats, and this is the problem in terms of parliamentary procedure, in terms of oh well, these aren't the Senate rules. You know what? Kamala Harris at a pen stroke can make things like, I'm sorry, parliamentarian who is not elected, we can change things so that we only need 50 votes.
Oh, you mean like Pence did?
That's all you need. Democrats don't want to win.
That.
But I think
Democrats can be like Republicans.
Look, I think you're being naive.
Holy shit!
You're being naive, Andy.
Because, oh my God! What the hell?
You have to realize the Democrats, the DNC, and the GOP are different wings of the same bird.
Yep.
A greedy buzzard.
Yep. And I agree.
Self-interest.
Yep.
And I agree with you, James. And the thing is, and this is the problem with progressives, and this is why I'm very unpopular, by the way, because not only do I poo all over on oligarchical Democrats, and of course on theocratic Republicans, and this is what happens at an hour and 45 minutes into this conversation. is that, the problem with progressives is that they don't want it bad enough. I was a Bernie guy, but Bernie should have been like, listen, he should have pulled a Trump. He should have been like, this is fake. If I didn't win, then it's because the Democrats they just screwed up, and he should have went in to win it. And at no point, even the only person who I think actually wins, who wants to win, are the squad, AOC, my representative right here, Presley, Ayanna Presley. Yeah. Those are the only people who want it. Those are the only people who really want it as bad as the Republicans. And those are brown-skinned people, going back to the issue of race, Seamus, my brother.
Yeah, I still have issues with Presley because she's kind of like been on the fence about a lot of shit. But
the perfect should not be the enemy of the good. I mean, that's what I think. If she's like the
Shakespearean on me, what the hell? No.
What's that?
I said, you're getting Shakespearean on me. What the hell? Just kidding.
Here's what I think. We make the United States of America into a civilized country, which I know is absurd to Neil the 604 Atheist, bringing him back from his whatever he's doing. Is this porn? Is this porn, Neil? That you're...
No, Twitter. So maybe.
Twitter, Twitter is it's wonderful. I'll say that.
Tell us how you really feel.
You don't have to lie for us. Come on, what the hell, man?
Twitter is the least powerful of the social media platforms. Pinterest has more people in it than Twitter does. It does.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
If you look,
but Twitter has no added value.
It only has 330 million active users on it. Pinterest eclipses that by far.
So I shall post a picture of my asshole tomorrow. Oh, I didn't say that aloud. Never mind.
Well, I appreciate your artistic integrity, Seamus, to tell you the truth. If you are going to...
it's beautiful. I'm just saying. But, So.
Is it bleached, though? Is it bleached?
No, it's natural, baby.
It's a throne dome.
So.
No, but I have to tell you, I think that the only way to get real change here in the States, and I think Georgia shows it. Georgia is an example with Stacey Abrams, is that the only way that we can crack the oligarchy here is via looking through this through a lens of race, to tell you the truth, because America, and I know this is going to be painful, is basically a racist construct.
Basically, surely you jest.
Shirley, don't call me Shirley, sir.
Of course I jest, and stop calling me Shirley.
Look, you know what it is? In America, it's legal to be racist. But those two-legged chimpanzee cows, what they forget is there's a lot of white people married to people with color, and there's a lot of white people with dark-skinned children. That shit won't fly anymore. And I'm convinced that the vast majority of the American people are good and decent. And what we're hearing is, empty vessels make the most noise. I genuinely believe that if you look at Trump's base, I'm assuming there's maybe 10 to 20 million hardcore. The rest are all just sitting on the sidelines. Those are the people that you talk to, not the fanatics, because they don't want to hear anything you've got to say. Because if you're going to talk to someone, the basis of your discussion should be a consensus on the agreement of facts. You can't discuss or debate someone who's using their feelings, subjective feelings, and turning them into facts. That's just a waste of time.
So here's an interesting question for Seamus and Neil the 604 Atheist. In terms of your platforms, who do you preach to? Do you preach to the choir or the congregation?
Huh?
Wow.
In other words, do you talk to other atheists, or you talk to people who aren't atheists?
Well, considering what my show is about, I would say I talk to atheists. But what we talk about, as you know, is how people found their way out of their belief systems.
Right.
Now, I've also spoken to not just atheists, but one of the gals I had on the show is an ex-guru in the world of pseudoscientific bullshit like crystal healing and tarot cards and all that other shit, right? So I had her on. She used to be a guru of that thing. So although she's not a believer in God, really, but
tell me about her.
So
she was a guru in crystals
like
and
new agey stuff, yeah.
And she made her money from that.
Yes, she did, yeah.
And she's not doing that now?
Not anymore. She gave it all up because she realized it was all nonsense.
That's brave, to tell you the truth. Most people, when they're getting money, they don't give that up, even if they don't believe in it.
That's true. Fair enough. But Jessica's got, she's true to herself, I guess you could say. It's like once she realizes that something is full of shit, then she's like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. So she's got integrity. We'll put it that way. She's a great, great, great lady. She lives in my city. She lives here in Vancouver. So we've already said that once the pandemic's over, we're going to go have a beer and talk a little more and whatnot.
I had no idea
do it now, but
Vancouver, dude.
What's that?
Great. I had no idea she was in Vancouver.
Yep, she's in Vancouver. Yeah.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, Jessica's awesome.
Yeah, she so we like officially we're not over 300, but we probably are because of other episodes. She might be one of my favorites. I mean, just
Jessica.
Yeah.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. She's great. She's fantastic. Oh my God.
So what made her turn around? What was the moment that she realized that this doesn't work?
I think, according to her, it was basically over time the realization that nothing that she thought was going to work for specific things, I guess maybe health-wise or mental state-wise, and things were just, they were like placebos, basically. So ultimately, she's like, you know what? None of this stuff really does anything. My entire time here, I have seen no evidence of like psychics or, just people claiming to be. But then once she understood how to do cold reading, warm reading, and hot reading and stuff like that, and she figured out all the different tricks of the trade, she's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't support this because it actually brings harm to people. So,
Neil, when you look at who she is and how she was brought up in her family life at a young age, what differentiates her from someone who says, well, this is what gets me paid, and so I'm going through with this?
Like I said, integrity.
Right. But there are variables. There is like,
sure.
But so I'm curious. I mean, for me, it's like I got problems. I've got unresolved problems, and that makes me want to say things. So I'm curious about what affected her, to be honest, because in a system, you gotta be like the salmon swimming up against the current.
Sure.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah. She just values honesty and I can't think of another word other than integrity. She values honesty and integrity, and she doesn't want to be a part of a system that could possibly harm people. So
yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Once you see behind the curtain, like in the Wizard of Oz, you can't go back, right? So.
Well, it's difficult to unless you're a whore, I mean,
those people have no fucking scruples. That's all.
Or people with no scruples who just want to get paid. And I don't want to be a genderist in that way, but a person who wants to.
It's not about gender, anyways. It's about who you are as a person, regardless of your gender.
Yeah. So, hey, Neil, plug your show while you're at it. No, just kidding.
What? I've already done that, but yeah.
No, I'm just being an ass.
Well, we are getting close to 2 hours. I feel I haven't done enough drinking because I'm still somewhat coherent and I haven't done any proper rant. I apologize. I apologize to everyone. I have taken the piss I feel out of Neil and out of Seamus at some various times, and maybe even out of James.
That's okay.
Maybe this is what I usually do. Maybe I'm blacked out, and I don't.
What's that?
What's that, James?
Hey, dude, I'm high in the clouds. You know, I'm buzzing in and out. Forgive me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're winding down, though I could talk for another, because I'm sober. Somewhat
Right.
happened. Oh, thank you, Seamus. So Neil, you got a show coming up within like an hour.
I do, yeah, I do, with my friend and fellow Canadian, Jay Peterson. He's in Alberta.
Jay
He
Peterson.
lives in Canada's Texas.
Saskatchewan.
No, Alberta.
Alberta. That's where the oil sands are, right?
Yes.
The tar sands.
Fracking assholes. I mean, no, fracking isn't as destructive as people think. But
I will say this is that, and I say controversial things, and let me say something.
Take care, Sam. Sorry.
The thing is about, renewable energy is the way for us to,
of course,
to
move,
not be tied to the tit with Saudi Arabia and other oil producing countries.
The thing is, though, oil ain't going anywhere. It's going to be necessary for everything like all the things that we like, this computer, everything that is petroleum based is going to be around for a long time. But burning it is the issue, right? Making things out of it, petroleum based products, is not so much an issue as long as we can recycle. But burning it is the big problem.
Let me double down on that, Neil, the 604 Atheist, while still asserting my point. For those of us who could be energy independent, like here in Canada, in the United States of America, the issue is about other countries who don't have the wealth like we do, and whether or not we support them. Democratic countries like Japan, and whether or not we are going to go balls to the wall to support them. Let's say if Saudi Arabia becomes like Iran Jr., right? If suddenly the oil supply goes to zero, we would be fine.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, we would be fine, but it's our allies that would suffer the most.
Oil is a necessity because of our lifestyle, but it doesn't. We can't switch over to using it as a fuel source. There are alternatives for fuel sources rather than oil. But oil has always been necessary in producing many, many products that everybody on the planet uses on a daily basis.
I have to tell you, whatever, and this is my problem, and I'm gonna.
You have engines, you need lubrication. Lubrication is going to be necessary. Of course, it can be synthetic, but
I like lubrication. And I just want to say right now, from a peer-reviewed article, spit is not lubrication for all of you in the chat.
Right, Derek.
And all of you who are watching. That being said, whenever we get to all-electric vehicles, which will be in the next 10 or 20 years, we may be alive. I mean, I may be alive for that.
They'll keep getting better, too.
What's that?
They'll keep improving them, too. They'll get better mileage, that kind of thing.
We won't need oil as much because electrical.
If you have moving parts, you damn well will need oil.
Not as much as the internal combustion. I don't know a lot, everyone, as you well know.
You're gonna have brakes. You're gonna have suspension. You're gonna have all kinds. You're gonna need it.
The internal.
Well, I mean, you are going to need it, but we have the technology to diversify, and what we can do is we can limit the amount that we use.
Sure.
Because, like you say, we have to burn it, and at the end of the day, we've only got one Earth, and what we're doing. I mean, we have children. and I want my children to have great grandchildren.
I don't have
We
any
can't
children
continue doing what we're doing.
that I know of.
It's not an option.
My heart goes out to James in Holland. It's like, yeah, our I think our addiction to fossil fuels is one of the things that will get us into the whatever oil war we are in. I don't even, Seamus, what oil war are we in at this point?
Really?
I mean, we're counting World War II, mind you, because World War II was an oil war as well as a theist war.
Well, we are actually engaged in theaters of war from like 8 different countries. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you guys are occupying quite a few. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and mind you, not that I don't want to give anything to Trump. And people are going to say, "Oh, you were Trump." No, I guarantee Biden will get us in Iran before Trump did. And that's where we're going to go.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How my, oh my fictitious God. I know Neil has like another show.
Yeah, I know.
An hour.
yeah, I do.
Boom! Drag bomb.
All right. So let's close this up. I'm causing trouble in the very last minutes of the show.
As usual.
I don't even know what we've covered. I don't even know what we learned. Maybe this is like life. Maybe you don't learn. Maybe you learn.
We're just having conversations and poking fun at shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
We are Sisyphus here. That's what we are.
Sisyphus. Pushing that fucking. Isn't that the guy that pushed the thing up the hill?
And it rolled back down, and then he had to roll it back up, and then he rolled back down, and that's all this is. I feel like we should say some kind of Sartre quote here, but I don't know. James Henry, I should say thank you, sir, for coming on the show today.
The pleasure was mine.
From one of the free peoples of Middle Earth in Holland. You would be, and for those of you who don't understand how Holland has given us tulips as well as freedom, check your history. Yeah,
the Dutch were pretty good at the slave trade as well. So we do have our dark secrets.
Well, we haven't even talked about James, you should come back on. We could talk about the dark secrets of Holland. But it's a sliding scale.
Dude.
It's a sliding scale in some extent. Is that you're not as bad as the Brits or the Americans?
Dude. All humans.
Damn Canadians and their fucking hockey.
All humans.
Yeah, indeed. Neil the 604 Atheist. You got a show coming up. Let's review that for a few seconds before we close things out.
What do I got to do now?
You have a show in like an hour.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Deconversion Stories featuring Jay Peterson. Like I said,
maybe I'm just drunk.
You might be. It might be a little.
Just a smidgen.
Another Canadian, Jay Peterson, huh?
Yes. No relation to the other Peterson we were talking about earlier, by the way.
John Peterson. So Jay Peterson, is he a West Coast?
He is, he's not quite as west as I am, but yes, he's in Alberta, which is the province right next to British Columbia.
Are you better than the Albertans?
I like to think so.
Excellent. Seamus, what do you got going on, brother?
You know.
I know about the chat and people.
All right. So tomorrow, we're gonna.
So anyways,
and I have to tell you, Seamus and Neil. I don't know if this is because of alcohol or other substances, but this was the whole AAI thing and the IAA thing, and we've been all
AAI.
We've been all cool with that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Whatever issue going on.
I have no allegiance, to be clear. Okay.
I do. I'm a card-carrying member of one of those groups.
So. Tell us, Neil. I'm going to get you into trouble. I'm going to get you in trouble.
You're
What?
not. You're not going to get me into trouble. I'll show you the card.
Tell me. Show me.
See if I can find it here. I'm a proud card-carrying member of Courtney
Heard?
Courtney Hurd, yes. Godless Moms. She was with AAI to begin with, but she did not like the way things were going there, so she started her own. It's the International Atheist Association. I am member number 33.
Sweet.
And that
Wow.
is my card there. So
and being
Represent.
that I am, tell me how IAA is better than AAI.
well, that's just an entire show, Andy. All right, so
Andy, you know what, Shane? You know what? You're gonna say like, F you, Andy Hall, for bringing that up at 2 hours 5 minutes into this. F you. F your business. Why are you asking me those questions? Well, we all know one is better than the other.
A whole other show, and we could actually, and I'll talk to her because I'm actually very good friends with Courtney. I'll talk to her about coming on. We can talk a little bit about that on one of the future shows.
You know, the thing is, I mean, people who know me, here's the thing, is that the medium is the message. People know me from my blog and think that I'm a complete a-hole, because everyone who's read my blog knows that I'm a complete a-hole. But actually, if you talk to me in person, I'm not as much as a raving a-hole. Maybe? I don't know.
Are you trying to convince yourself of that or us?
You're a good dude.
Me, Neil. You're completely right. I'm trying to convince myself that I'm not completely dirty.
You're not a complete a-hole. You're a partial.
You're not a douchebag.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
It's like we're all partial a-holes here, I guess.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
In Canada, we call them douche canoes, by the way.
Douche
That's what I'm saying. Hallelujah.
Seamus, I know you're in your Zen state right now, sir.
Seamus is thinking.
Meditating.
Just resting my eyes there, guys.
Yeah,
What do you want, Seamus?
What do you want from me?
lost in thought.
I don't know. What
Plug
do you
whatever
got?
you want. This is the time to plug whatever you want, Seamus.
All right, so tomorrow we are actually going to delve into the abyss, as it is. Why there are issues between those two groups, and why it really doesn't matter, and who are the real victims of this quote unquote data theft. Yeah. So that's what I have for tomorrow. Otherwise, we like
Once he gets over the hangover.
Yep.
That's all.
Awesome.
Very good. James, once again, thank you for coming on. My name is
Pleasure was mine.
This is just a train wreck. I don't even know what this is. I guess this is Atheist Drinking Out Loud number 9. We're doing a special episode the last Saturday of March, and with a special surprise guest, which we're not going to divulge right now because then it wouldn't be a special surprise guest. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. I always appreciate talking to fellow misanthropes.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
Indeed. Though I haven't heard enough about Holland supremacy, James. But that's
Yeah, we're a Mickey Mouse land, man. We know we're nothing, and we're good with that.
At least you're not Belgium.
Hey, Belgium's got the best beer in the world, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, everyone. Thank you for showing up. I don't know what just happened, but it was Atheist Drinking Out Loud number 9. Last Saturday of the month, it's going to be Atheist Drinking Out Loud number 10. Neil has a special guest on. Thank you very much. And I think we're out.
Peace.